Hello everybody. I want to talk about having a great attitude. Your attitude is the outward manifestation of who you are. Those with the bad attitude express negativity and disapproval, and those with a positive attitude express exactly the opposite. Not only an uplifting and optimistic spirit, but a sunny disposition that permeates every thought and every action. They think the best, do the best, and hope for the best in everything they do and with everyone they meet. They're magnets for everything that's good. And we strive to be around such people because they make us feel even better about ourselves. They make our time here fun. Contrary to what many believe, you decide what your attitude will be about yourself, your job, your employees, and your organization. The good news is that you can change your attitude, though it's quite difficult. Unfortunately, we have so many experiences that taint our attitude, including various prejudices and biases on weight, age, gender, and so on, that we find changing our attitude is a heroic task at times. In fact, people who have influence in our lives, such as our parents and children, siblings, cousins, teachers, supervisors, priests, preachers, neighbors, co-workers, friends, pass on some of these negative attitudes through their words and actions, and we tend to mimic those who influence those thoughts. There's a multitude of other influences affecting our attitude, including self-esteem, self-image, and self-confidence. Why so many fall on the negative side of the attitude scale as opposed to the positive side may be a mystery to some, but I'm convinced that everyone can have a positive, uplifting attitude. An extraordinary attitude is achieved by overcoming the negative influences in our culture and by seeking the positive influences in our world. These positive influences to an extraordinary attitude would include, at a minimum, first, eat right and get the proper exercise. Those who maintain their weight and are in optimal health enhance their self-image, and this newfound attitude is manifested in the clothes they wear and in the smile they display. It's difficult to think and feel positively about yourself unless your mind and body are of the same disposition. 2 is to have positive influences. Surround yourself with only the most positive and optimistic influences, whether that is through the television shows you watch, the books that you read, the friends that you choose to spend your time with, or the organization that you choose to work for. There's a number of other simpler tasks that you can follow to improve your attitude. Paint your walls a brighter color. Plant more trees in your yard so that you can see the green of the trees rather than the gray of the concrete. Or listen to uplifting music that energizes your soul. For those who live in areas where you can't plant trees or you're not allowed to paint your walls, don't let that stop you. Create tapestries on your walls with pieces of fabric or find some beautiful indoor plants. Think of ways to inject comfort, joy, health, peace, and beauty into your day. Noisy neighbors upstairs, maybe? Buy a pair of earplugs or portable music with headphones. Can't sleep on an old mattress? Make a nest of comfortable blankets and sleep on the floor. Of course, painting bright colored walls and looking at trees cannot overcome those with genuine sadness and disappointment. But working to change your influences and perspectives can be a positive start. Moreover, under no circumstances should you let the world impact or affect your happiness, and never let others tell you what's acceptable or not acceptable in terms of how to spend your time. As I often say, you can control the way you live your life, not the way others judge your life. Eliminate those negative influences that draw you down a path of selfishness and dishonesty and hate, and instead choose the influences that reinforce what you're striving to become. Seek positivity and you will become the person that you are seeking. 3rd is to take responsibility for your future. Search for the professional and personal life that brings you happiness and peace, and then never deviate from that path that takes you there. As we've learned, those who are the happiest are those who feel that they have something worthwhile to do and something worthwhile to contribute. They also have one other admirable trait. They never blame others for their failures in life. Even in those situations where you feel least in control, there are still some choices people can make to improve their circumstances. You do, largely, control your own destiny, rather than your destiny being determined by outside influences such as your parents, friends, or coworkers. One must, at some point, accept responsibility for the path they've chosen to travel. And if they want to change the path they travel, then they must have the courage and fortitude to do so. Lastly, develop a positive philosophy of life, and that philosophy should remain at the forefront of your mind in every thought and every decision you make. I always say, always look for the good along the road of life. I also remember to go down swinging for what you believe in and to do something to make the world a better place. These philosophies have reminded me of the goodness I seek, of the difference that I can make, and to never compromise on those beliefs as I travel to reach my destiny. I hope you do the same. And I hope these influences help you develop the attitude that will be the envy of all you meet. My best to you.